Here's Bradley's 24-hour forecast.
Yeah, look, and if you're heading out at any point this evening or through the course of the weekend, make sure you're taking it easy out there, find some shade and stay hydrated for sure. Temperatures still upper 90s to lower 100s at the top of the hour here in Acadiana. Fair to partly cloudy skies. We are seeing a few showers and storms, mostly off to our north across the central and northern parts of the state. Power Doppler 3, again, pretty quiet here locally in Acadiana, but still some of this energy is diving southward, so we can't totally rule out one or two isolated showers prior to sunset, but rain chance is not too terribly high at 10% or less. Here we go into Saturday. We'll start out upper 70s to lower 80s, right back up into the triple digits by the afternoon. And with the ridge of high pressure not directly overhead, we still could see a few isolated pop-up showers and storms. That rain chance is not too terribly high. Wouldn't get your hopes up, only at around 20 to 30%, and that's reflected in your 24-hour forecast. 80 the projected low, 104 the projected high. Those heat indices again way up there, 110 to 117 during the hottest part of the day. Record for tomorrow sits at 101. That was set back in 1902, so that will be in jeopardy. And again, couple pop-up showers possible for the afternoon. Rain chances 20 to 30%. Much of the same as we head into Sunday, but a weak frontal boundary on the way for Monday. That should give us some better rain chances. We'll talk more about that and an update on the tropics coming up in just a bit.
Extreme heat and dry conditions could soon affect food prices here in Louisiana. State officials say the extreme weather is hurting crops and consumers will eventually notice that at the grocery store. The statement comes as Louisiana continues to tie or break record highs. According to the National Weather Service, this heat wave poses a greater health risk because of the number of days of excessive heat and also a lack of overnight cooling.
Most of the foods that we consume, if you look at corn and beans and wheat, it's from the previous year crop. So what's happening today will be influencing the food prices as we move forward.
In Vermilion Parish, the sheriff's office is reminding everybody that they will be enforcing the statewide burn ban. Vermilion Parish falls under the extreme category, meaning fire potential is very high. Deputies say they'll be very watchful of any violations and will issue citations if necessary. The fine is $250. And the sheriff's office is also accepting donations for Beauregard Parish firefighters. Those interested can bring donations to the address listed there on your screen. Donations are being accepted through next Wednesday. Deputies are looking to collect water, pop-up canopy tents, and high-velocity fans. Staying in Vermilion Parish, the Turkey Creek water system is asking everyone to conserve water amid the drought. Customers with even home addresses are asked to only water lawns and gardens Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Odd numbers are asked to water on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. Customers are asked to follow this schedule until conditions improve. A reminder that I-10 eastbound on the Atchafalaya Bridge will be down to one lane to allow for emergency repairs over the weekend. Construction begins tonight at 8 o'clock and that'll last through noon on Tuesday. Drivers can use I-49 to Highway 190 toward Baton Rouge as an alternate route. And the annual Clean Out Your Freezer Day is happening Sunday. Don't forget, each year Hunters for the Hungry hosts the event. Community members are encouraged to take stock of their freezers and donate any extra or unused food to families in need. You can find a list of drop-off locations to the left there on your screen. Donations will be passed along to local food banks.
We encourage outdoorsmen throughout Acadiana to kind of dig deep, literally, in their freezer and share with the needy anything that you have that you didn't use from your previous hunting or fishing season.
Good evening. I'm Darcy Ortiq reporting live from Park San Souci, where Downtown Alive is taking place this evening. For the past 40 years, Lafayette's Downtown Unlimited nonprofit has been hosting this free concert series, but this year they're partnering with the University of Louisiana at Lafayette in order to get more Raging Cajuns excited and informed about downtown Lafayette and everything the city has to offer. This year I spoke with the Dean of Students, Miss Margarita Perez. She says she's excited for this event and she's looking forward to more Raging Cajuns being a part of it.
We realized that we were missing something in what we were providing students. We really wanted to connect our students to downtown, helping them realize we have shops, we have restaurants, we have a grocery store, we have entertainment just blocks from campus.
Now, within the hour, the Rouge crew is expected to perform live right here in Park San Souci. Admission is free. It's a family-friendly event, and everyone is welcome to attend. This year, there will be buses transporting UL students from the dining hall downtown here to Park San Souci to enjoy live entertainment. Reporting live downtown, I'm Darcy Ortiq, reporting in Downtown Alive, KATC TV3.
Stretching from the Cajun Prairie to the Gulf of Mexico is Vermilion Parish. With over 1,500 square miles, it's one of Louisiana's largest parishes by area, and it knows how to pack a lot of fun and flavor in each of those miles. Maurice is generally considered your gateway to Vermilion Parish. Move on to Abbeville, the largest community and also the seat of parish government. The area was settled in the 1700s and incorporated in 1850. St. Mary Magdalene Church started as a chapel in 1854. The current church has been standing there for over 100 years. A stroll through Magdalene Square down Concord Street past historical buildings and shopping on down to the courthouse. Abbeville has plenty of places to see and great places to eat. Eastward to Erath takes you to the Acadian Museum, part of why Vermilion Parish is known as the most Cajun place on earth. And then on to Delcambre, where many of you just enjoyed the Shrimp Festival. A couple of great places to visit include the Banker Grotto, and just across the Vermilion River from there is Palmetto Island State Park, the newest state park in Louisiana. Kaplan is more of your gateway to the Gulf. It's the place where you head southward toward the Intracoastal Waterway to the islands, Cow Island, Forked Island, just to name a few, and then through Pecan Island along LA 82 with breathtaking views of the marsh and the occasional view of the Gulf in the distance. It's also one of the best places in Acadiana for stargazing. Way out in the western part of Vermilion Parish is the town of Gueydan, home to the Gueydan Museum. And this weekend, many of you will converge on the town for the annual Duck Festival. Vermilion Parish, your gateway to the Gulf of Mexico, one of the best tasting places in Acadiana, and the most Cajun place on earth. For Acadiana's News Channel, I'm Dave Baker.
Coming up right here on Acadiana's News Channel at 5, former President Trump made history as the first former president to have his mugshot taken. We'll have a recap of his arrest in Georgia last night and also what's next coming up a bit later on.
And a full look at your forecast is coming up right after this break.
From the KATC Weather Lab, here's Bradley's forecast.
Welcome back. Well, the weekend upon us, and unfortunately, not much change in the weather forecast. Going to stay quite hot out there. Rain chance is relatively low, although not completely zeroed out. Now, as we head into next week, we'll get a little bit of a break in the pattern. Weak front will try to push through on Monday. Should give us some better rain chances, and at the very least, looks like a reduction in our humidity to follow. So we'll get into that. Plus, the tropics coming alive out in the Atlantic Basin. So first off, let's get a check of the upper level pattern, and still being dominated by this ridge of high pressure, but it's now still, it's actually now just a little bit off to our west, and that's kind of where it will settle in through the course of the weekend. So still very hot out there, but with the ridge not necessarily directly overhead the region, it's going to allow for the possibility of a few pop-up primarily afternoon showers and storms. Wouldn't get your hopes too terribly high, considering rain chances only sitting at 20 to 30% range. Meanwhile, currently satellite radar composite showing pretty quiet conditions across a good part of South Louisiana. All the active showers and storms kind of off to our north as you get into Sinlon, then the northern parts of the state. Complex of storms here just east of the basin. We'll see if that holds together. Some of this energy again dropping southwestward, so we can't totally rule out one or two isolated showers over the next couple of hours prior to sunset, but again, not overly likely. Let's take it out into the tropics. Again, quite busy on the Atlantic side of things. We have Invest 93L sitting here in the extreme northwestern Caribbean. We'll get to that in just a second. Tropical storm Franklin now north of the Caribbean islands. That'll potentially present a threat to Bermuda down the line, but not overly concerning for us. And again, a couple other areas way out in the Atlantic that really not worth mentioning simply because they're not heading westward toward the Gulf of Mexico, but a little bit closer to the Gulf. Again, we do have Invest 93L here. here. Started to see convection busting out through the course of the day today, indicating that it's trying to get a little bit better organized. And in fact, it has a high chance, an 80% chance to develop at least into a depression over the next few days. But I do think this will have hurricane potential down the line as it tracks across the eastern Gulf. I'll show you why in just a bit. But here's the European model. And again, I do expect moisture to continue to pool up down here near the Yucatan through the course of the weekend. May see a broad area of low pressure try to develop as well. And then all of this is going to be on a northeasterly track over the eastern Gulf as we head into next week. At the same time, though, an upper level trough is going to be developing across the southeastern U.S., an associated frontal boundary as well. And essentially that's going to steer all of this more so towards Florida. And again, this system is going to be strengthening as it tracks over the very hot waters of the eastern Gulf of Mexico. So hurricane potential as it heads towards Florida. For us, again, that weak front's going to push through. Looks like late Monday into Tuesday should help to give us a decent scattering of some showers and storms. So hopefully a good soaking there. And then behind the front, although we're not going to see a drastic cool down with our temperatures, notice all the blue here. So drier, slightly more comfortable weather is going to be filtering in for the middle parts of next week. All the while, anything with the tropics is going to be staying well off to our east. Temperatures tonight, again, seasonably warm, muggy out there, upper 70s to lower 80s. That's where we'll start our Saturday. Right back up into the triple digits tomorrow afternoon, 102 to 105 across Acadiana for those high temperatures. And then pretty much rinse and repeat as we head into Sunday, maybe even a couple of degrees hotter in spots come Sunday afternoon. And of course, your heat indices are going to be way up there, 110 to 117 during the hottest part of the day. So for tonight, 79 to 80 your projected lows. Got to be slow to cool out there. So if you're heading out for any of your Friday evening plans, maybe for some Friday night football, keep that in mind. Find some shade and definitely hydrate. For tomorrow, 104 the projected high. The record 101 that was set back in 1902. So that'll be in jeopardy for sure. 106 as we head into Sunday afternoon. Again, few pop-up showers and storms possible for our afternoons this weekend. 20 to 30% better rain chances though as we head into Monday with that frontal boundary. A little bit cooler as we head into next week. We're talking mid to upper 90s instead of the triple digits, but at least slightly less humid for the middle parts of the week. Well, that's a look at weather for now, but stay with us. We're going to have more news coming up.